Good evening, everybody. Blair Patterson here in the booth, along with Expert on the Expert Racing Network from Las Vegas for round 4 of the NNR Truck Series. I want to welcome you all here. Expert, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. My bank account's not looking too good. I spent too much time in the casino here at the virtual Las Vegas area. But we're looking to have a great time here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's probably going to make up for the damage to my bank account, but these guys are going to gamble out here tonight and try to go after a great possible chance at a win here tonight. We came off a great race at ISM. Nick Trader ended up dominating that race, and now with the second race here of our West Coast swing, these guys try to tackle Las Vegas, and it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a multi-groove track, and expect a lot of great action here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. Dominate was the word from last week for Nick Trader. This week, probably going to see a little bit different run. I'm looking for Trader right now. It looks like he's 16th fastest in practice, but he might be sandbagging a little bit and holding back for us. Looking at these practice times, should be a great race.
Oh, certainly. And, you know, we see a lot of guys that we've seen up front for the past few weeks, looking at Paul Urban, Justin Anasagot, Josh Arnold, but a few other guys that are sneaking their way into the top 5. One of the Shiro guys out of the duo, he's sitting right there. P1, that 33 Chevrolet, topping the field so far here in practice. And then Dustin Carroll, he is making his name known. We haven't talked about him much since Daytona, and he's coming out here 5th fastest on the board.
Yeah, he's looking really good at this mile and a half here tonight in the desert. You touched on a little bit earlier, multi-groove racetrack, so we should see some really great racing here tonight. Good to see Carroll back here up towards the top. Been a couple weeks since we've seen him towards the top. He had some struggles at ISM last week, but looks like he's got it turned around and got it running fast in that 92 Chevy tonight.
Definitely, and this is going to pose a big question because I'm looking at a little bit of a correlation here. This track pretty much runs full throttle, similar to what's another track, Daytona. We started out the season there. We're seeing a bunch of names here in the top 10 that we haven't necessarily seen in the top 10 fastest since Daytona. I'm going to point out guys like we mentioned Shiro. He's at the top of the board, had the pole for Daytona. We mentioned Carroll. He was very fast. I'm looking at Joseph Darnell, Daytona's winner, sitting P8 right now. Looking at guys like Ray Lane and James Litzenberger sitting 9th and 10th fastest overall on the board as well. So a bunch of guys that we haven't seen since Daytona are finally putting their names back into the hat here today. Is that a correlation between tracks, or is that just guys now trying to see if they can build momentum after a tough few races since the start of the season?
Yeah, there could be a lot of things with that. I think this being a wide open track like Daytona is going to lend to certain drivers' strong suits. Like last week, for example, we saw Nick Trader. You know, we talked about Phoenix being a rhythm track with using the gas and the brake and turning in. This week here is a little bit easier as far as driving style. That you don't have to worry about hitting that middle pedal at all. So it might be a little bit easier drive, but Vegas is no easy track to get around. Don't get it twisted. These trucks, once they wear through tires, they're going to be slipping and sliding and provide some great racing action for us tonight.
Oh, most certainly. And these guys, they're looking to really put it all out on the line here tonight. And talking about somebody who could possibly go out here and win, sitting 6th fastest right now, our Atlanta winner, and Atlanta is probably the closest resemblance to this track that we can get, Mr. Nicholas Broman, going out here. He's going to be a guy to certainly watch out for to possibly go out here and win here tonight.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on the 95. We talked about him at Atlanta right there, and this is our second mile and a half track. Is that right? Atlanta and this?
The second one.
Yeah, so back to a mile and a half. So seeing what he did there at Atlanta with such a strong win, coming from the back too at Atlanta, if you remember, right? He came from the back to win that race. So he might have something for him here tonight again.
You're most certainly right. I mean, it's going to be a lot of excitement, I know, for these guys. But still, it's going to be a long race for them, too. They got to keep their heads up, got to keep their head on a swivel. And we know that a lot of guys are testing out different strategies, especially here with about 20 minutes left here in practice, these guys are looking at everything they could possibly do to get an advantage, because even in my time doing a little bit of test driving out there, I could definitely see the advantages and disadvantages of the different lanes. But of course, it all depends on how you are in traffic. These guys testing it out right now. As you can see, a 4-truck group just battling it out here in practice.
Yeah, these guys are learning a lot right now. They're learning the multiple grooves. You see the 8 up real high, the 12 running middle, 95 and the 9 there on the bottom. They're learning about the multiple grooves, seeing where the grip is for them. Also, paying attention to that draft, seeing where they need to be in line to use the arrow as an advantage. As he kind of slides out in front of the 12 there, no contact, but keeping everything straight here in practice. But these guys are definitely becoming students of the track right now with about 22 minutes left here in practice.
Definitely taking advantage of their time. And while we're out here, I want to go ahead and make sure that we put this out here. We want to thank everybody at One Mind to Design. You know, we've been talking about them so much and how much they've helped with this series and getting this league off the ground. But I mean, I think it's very understated. You look at all these paint schemes. Most, if not all, of these schemes have been made by those guys at One Mind to Design, and they've really put their own personal touch on a lot of these. And it just really shows, and the fact of how much they've helped the league in several different aspects, I just got to give it up to them. So be sure, go check them out on Twitter, at One Mind to Design. If you want a scheme like these awesome ones you're seeing tonight, go ahead and hit them up, and they'll be able to create something personalized just for you. I mean, it looks amazing, and whenever you go to place your order, be sure to tell them Expert sent you. Maybe you'll get a discount.
Absolutely. I was just awesome segue, because I was just wanting to talk about the paint schemes. We've got Joe Darnell here in the 12, a little different paint scheme. Got the Advanced Auto Parts paint scheme on that 12 truck tonight. Really good luck. And Paul Irvin, remember last week he was running that number 9 Napa paint scheme on that Toyota. Got a completely different paint scheme on there this week. Looks really, really good. I like it a lot.
Oh, you're most certainly right. And these guys really putting it out there. And I mean, right now, probably my favorite scheme. He hates on my schemes a lot, but it's got to be my old friend Pete's right there. He's really showing out. But I think you have a buddy of yours, Mr. Anasigok. I think he's running something new here this week. Oh,
we should probably take a look at my buddy. I was, believe it or not, I was eating some fudge brownie M&Ms earlier today and thinking about my old buddy, Mr. Anasigok. Oh no, Joe gets a little loose. Little slide there, 1 and 2. Oh, he just tagged the wall. Good news is it's practice. Not going to hurt him. He's going to be okay. But let's take a look at Mr. Anasigok and see what his... Oh, he's got the target scheme out here tonight. Look at this. Looking good. Looking good. Not near as good as a fudge brownie M&M
now. You're still pressing on those fudge brownie M&Ms. I got to give it up. You're being...
They're delicious. I've got a bowl of M&Ms with them arm's reach right here. I could have one right now if I wanted to. They're delicious.
We got to get this sponsored now. I mean, you've been putting so much work in. We have to get a sponsor sometime.
You know, to be honest with you, this bowl right here not only has fudge brownie M&Ms, it has the caramel or caramel and peanut butter. All three mixed in the same bowl. So it's a delightful little treat.
About to say, you're just showing off now. I might make me some ice cream with some cake.
There you go. There you go. It's dessert time. What's up, Twitch? What are you guys eating for dessert today out there in chat? Let's talk about dessert in chat. What is your dessert go-to for Monday night in NNR Truck Series League?
Right now, I actually want to go ahead. Mr. Coey actually mentioned something before the race, and you and me, we don't want to get in trouble. Of course, I don't believe we want to get in trouble.
Nope, definitely.
But nope. I want to keep the job security if we have it.
Yep.
But right now, I want to go ahead and also shout out. We mentioned the guys at One Mind to Design, but we also need to mention. We need to mention those guys over at NNRleague.com, where you can go and check out everything about both their console and iRacing leagues. You can go over there, check it out, see schedule, point standings, driver bios, everything and anything And then, of course, for Mrs. Cochran out there, because she was asking about it, you can go onto the NNR League page and go to, I believe it's the Zazzle tab. You can go there and shop for all your favorite NNR gear for both the console and iRacing side. Be sure to head over to the shop and go pick out some of the gear. I've actually had the privilege of being able to purchase some of that amazing gear, and trust me, you will not regret it.
There's merch?
There's merch.
I'm excited. I'm going to have to go check it out myself. I'm going to need some merch. Oh, no. Little wreck here in practice.
Yeah, I was about to say, you kind of have to, Blair. Come on, got to rep the brand.
I got to check it out. I need merch. I need hats and shirts and can coolers and what else do I need?
You got koozies.
Yeah, koozies. Yeah, I need those.
Koozies. I think we might have towels too. Actually, let me go look at our assortment of products there on it. Maybe. I think we might still have them. I knew we had them before.
Perfect for your beach day. Grab your NNR towel and head to your favorite sandy spot.
Exactly. See, you get the hype around it there, Blair. Let's see. We have our coffee mugs, our welcome mats. We even have NNR car fresheners. How could you not? We have the NNR license plates, stickers.
Ooh, car freshener. What does that smell like? Do you think? You think it's gonna smell like burning rubber, race fuel?
I don't know. It may smell like our termination papers unless we get back to this action.
We should probably get back to the action, otherwise it's going to smell like unemployment. So.
Oh, Lordy. But these guys actually showing out here on track. You got to love it, though. These guys have been putting on a show so far in practice. I can't see what race time will look like once we drop the green flag.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this race. Multi-groove track, really fast, a lot of wide open throttle. Tire wear is going to be a bit of an issue here at Vegas. All this sand out here in the desert really gets gritty and wears the tires out. Fuel run is going to be somewhere around 50 laps tonight by my estimates from talking to some other drivers. About 45 to 50 laps. You'll see the fuel window there. Oh no, Paul Irvin getting a little loose there on the back straight. Might have had a little help. But should be a really exciting race. I'm super ready for it.
Definitely. So, and I think this is going to be one of the races. Go ahead, mark my words.
Okay.
We are going to see ourselves, and this may not be too far of a stretch. We're going to see ourselves a first-time winner and kind of a dark horse winner here tonight. I get the feeling that we're going to see a dark horse winner here at this night race under the lights here at Vegas.
A dark horse first-time winner. Who do you have in mind? What are you thinking? You've got somebody in mind. Go ahead and share it. What do you got?
I've got a few people in mind, and one person that I saw originally towards the front of the field earlier is my fellow Georgia native. I think Matt Cochran. If he's there in the front few rows at the end of the race, maybe from pit strategy or something like that, I think that 19 might see victory lane for the first time.
Very possible. It's 13th fastest in practice right now. So a lot of these practice times that we're seeing right now, the draft has a lot of things to do with it. So once we get into single car qualifying, don't be surprised if this speed chart shakes up a little bit with different guys moving up on the speed chart and different guys moving down, because this draft is key right now on some of these speeds.
Definitely. Well, right now I do have to say for a lot of these guys on the board, another guy that I'm going to be looking at, I wouldn't be surprised actually if you picked him, is going to be Robertson. He's been flying under the radar for the past few weeks. It seems like he's just getting closer and closer, but just can't seal the deal. I would imagine we could see that at 64 in victory lane pretty soon as well.
Yeah, Robertson's been super consistent every week at every track so far. No matter it be a mile and a half, be a short track, be Daytona, it does not matter. Robertson's super solid, super consistent driver so far starting off this season. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the 64 running up front most of the night.
Certainly, and right now I'm actually going to go and see if I can take a look at our overall point standings right now. Right now, it looks as if, our top 5 in points is going to be Nicholas Trader, Ed Robertson, Paul Irvin, Josh Arnold, and Ryan Shiro. So that top 5, talking about consistency, seeing Nick Trader and Ed Robertson 1-2, that just shows you the type of year that they've had this year so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure they're looking for another great run here tonight. They're showing pretty good in practice so far. Like you touched on, Robertson 8th in practice. Nick Trader looking 16th in practice right now, but nothing to be too concerned about this early on.
See, and the rumors of the commentator's curse has already spread throughout the field, because you know how I mentioned about the 19 going out there and winning?
Yeah.
Well, our good friend Cowboy himself went out there in chat and said, "At expert, do not put that bad juju on me."
Oh, wow.
So the support is not well accepted, but it's okay.
No, it is not. It's not at all. It's not at all.
But,
looks like we're getting ready to go to a driver's meeting. You want to get this hype video in right away?
Oh, definitely. Let's go to it. Fans out there in chat, enjoy. We'll see you right back. Definitely, it gets you all hyped up for the race itself, and I just cannot wait for it. As these guys, right now, they're in the drivers' meeting. We're not going to pull anybody to interview, because I'd rather not, get a scolding from Cowboy Coey at the end of this one. But right now, being here at Vegas, these guys getting set there on pit road, getting set in the drivers' meeting, and of course, we've talked about it for weeks about right now these guys are just getting focused and stuff like that. But we are already heading into a deep part of the season. This is, I believe, the fourth race into this completed around, I'd say, 22 race season. What's the outlook for these guys going into race number 4, being like, okay, hey, this is what we're looking at here?
So getting this far into the race season, race 4, like you just said, there's going to be a couple different strategies come into play. Depends on where this driver is when it comes to points. So guys like Robertson, Nick Trader, guys like that, they're right there consistently at the top of the points. It's going to be same old for them. You're going to look for Robertson to go out here and Trader to go out here and have just a good, consistent, clean run. Not really caring about the win. If it's available, they'll take it. No big deal. What you got to really look for is some of these guys coming from deeper in the field when it comes to points, and those guys really thinking about strategy, thinking about when they can come in and get tires. When should they come in and get their last splash of gas and all those things, and really try to shake it up to get in that championship talk towards the end.
Definitely, and right now some of these guys slowly going back out on track. Not sure if drivers' meeting has just ended, but some of these guys heading back out on track. We're going to check once these guys start splitting back off from drivers' meeting. We're going to see if we can pull some of them in here and see if we can get a word with them. But of course, as we're about 9 minutes from qualifying now, we've really gotten a sense of what we can expect from some of these guys. Actually, let's go ahead and see if we can talk to a few of these guys. Let's see if we can try to pull one of your favorites, Mr. Nicholas Broman, in here and see if we can talk to him, as he was our last mile-and-a-half winner.
That would be awesome.
Let's see if I can pull him right now, if Discord will work with me. All right, here we go. Let's pull him in here. Mr. Nicholas Vroman himself, HD Motorsports expert and Blair up in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up?
All right. Yep, we got you. All right, my friend. You were you won the first mile-and-a-half here this season at Atlanta. Now coming here to Vegas at a very similar track, you look to make it 2 in a row on mile-and-a-halves. How do you look to try to carry that momentum from one start to the next and try to see if you can make it 2 for 2 so far this season?
Having a clean truck at the end of this. Racing here can get pretty crazy. I know I intend taking it 3 wide if I got the opportunity. So just gotta get to the front, get the clean air, and hopefully we're clean at the end.
Definitely. Well, overall, we know that you're one of the faster trucks out here in the field. But if you had to choose one person that would probably be the guy that you'd be like, okay, well, he's going to be the scary fast guy here tonight, who do you think is going to be that top level of competition here?
That's gonna be Robertson. He's pretty quick, especially in the long run. He's really good at saving his tires. He's probably gonna be my toughest competitor, but I don't want to take away from you know, Irvin or anybody like that. Justin or anybody like that. There's a lot of good talent out here, but Robinson's definitely a tough one.
Definitely. Well, you got to share the love around a little bit. And speaking of sharing the love around, we were happy to see you up here in the booth. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you later, my friend. Good luck tonight.
All right, you too, guys. Thank you.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move him back. But, of course, always nice to talk to some of the drivers, especially Mr. HD Motorsports himself. And Blair, you know, we're only a few minutes away from practice. I mean, the clock's just ticking down. And I'm so excited right now.
Yeah, it's funny that Vroom Vroom and us, we were on the same page there, so kudos to us for actually paying attention to what goes on track. You know, you heard Vroom talk about Robertson going to be a big threat on the long run, and we were talking about his consistency earlier tonight, so I think that's going to be something that we definitely have to watch here tonight.
Definitely. So as we look, your focus there on the grid, these three guys battling it out, a huge battle right now, and we can expect these all throughout the night.
Yeah, this race should have good action from the drop of the green flag all the way to the drop of the checkered flag all night long. Going to be a lot of racing around each other. Once tires wear off, it's probably going to go a little bit single file towards the end of the fuel run. If we go green the whole way, somewhere right around that lap 35 spot is where you're probably going to see a little bit more single file racing once tires even out across the board. But then once tires get put back on, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong until the next run.
Almost certainly. And right now, I want to go ahead and celebrate the fans out there in chat. We have 13 live viewers. Thank you very much for tuning here on the XR Network alongside Blair Patterson. And Blair, I'm going to go ahead and put your bot out there in chat. Be sure to go and look at Blair's Facebook page. He does a lot of streaming on there as well. So go show him the love here tonight as we look to get it underway here at Las Vegas. Go check him out after tonight's stream. Be sure to show him the love and support that he definitely deserves.
Thank you much. I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody out there in chat, everybody watching right now. You guys are going to be in store for a great race here tonight. I'm really excited for this one.
I am as well. I mean, these guys have been practicing all week. I even remember Dustin Carroll and a few guys running a practice last night, and they were extremely hyped to be able to get this underway. So right now, these guys that are heading down pit road and looking to go into their pit boxes that are down here, is it important to try to practice these type of situations on entering and exiting pit road? Is that something you have during practice where you're like, okay, let's practice getting it slowed up, load up, and trying to get down to pit road speed? Is that something you try to use these sessions for, or is that kind of uncommon when it comes to league racing?
No, I think that's something that you really need to focus on, especially in this league right here, because this league right here, there's so much green flag racing, so much clean racing that you're not going to be guaranteed a caution to fall into the window where you want to pit. So taking a couple of runs at pit road at speed is a really good idea for these drivers. That way they know where to hit the brakes, how the truck's going to feel, make sure they get it slowed down. I believe it's 50 miles an hour pit road speed limit here at Vegas, so make sure you get it down to 50 miles an hour, because these guys are going to be running about 170 into the corners once these tires wear out. So that's a big woe down to get to pit road, and speeding penalties kill at this track for sure.
Definitely. And I mean, I've seen it in my career on the console side, not necessarily here on the iRacing side, as of course I'm still pretty much a baby when it comes to this stuff over here. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get my feet under me, try to gain some knowledge here. But these guys definitely, as you mentioned, it's going to be a tough track for these guys as far as strategy goes. But when it comes to the on-track action, these guys mentioned it's full throttle and basically turn the truck. Does that allow the driver to be able to say, okay, one less thing I have to worry about is throttle control, having a brake here, or does that come with the long run in which these guys are like, okay, you know, where can I hit my marks? What's the type of strategy at one of these full throttle tracks?
Main thing on these kind of tracks, it's going to be trying to save those tires for as long as possible. So what you're going to see a lot of these drivers do, well, you're not going to see it, but what they're doing is they're going to up their steering ratios on the trucks from their practice qualifying sets to their race set. They're going to go up on the steering ratio, try to save that right front tire as much as possible, and then once a run starts going, you're going to see these guys lifting on purpose when they don't necessarily have to, just to try to lengthen the life of that right front tire out there. So you might see lap times for some of these guys slow down really early, just so they can stay consistent throughout the whole run. So they got a lot of work to do. This isn't just hold it wide open and point it into the corner for the next 134 laps. These guys are going to be working all night long.
Well, right now you can see these guys in a huge pack. These guys are already working to try to go and make moves here. So right now, as we still look at these guys battling down the back straightaway, could we expect these guys going 3-4 wide all night long? I mean, we've seen a little bit of that action so far here in practice.
I wouldn't expect to see any 4 wide, and I expect to see very rare 3 wide here tonight. The only time I expect to see any 3 tonight is if somebody has a problem and like gets checked up, so they have to slow down in their lane and the guy behind them moves to another lane to make it 3 wide. I don't anticipate a lot of 3 wide here tonight.
Well, these guys, they're trying to get this practice through the final minute. They're trying to get to qualifying now, trying to get this practice ended and get this qualifying session underway. So right now, as these guys continue to battle it out here, I'm going to have to go get something to drink real quick because unfortunately I'm out of water over here. So let me get something to drink real quick and we will be right back.
Sounds good. I'm going to stay right here and watch the action. Hang out with y'all here in chat, out here in Twitterville.
I like that. Twitterville,
Twitterville, where am I? What goes on?
All right, I am back.
Excellent. Just in time for the checkered flag of practice. Ryan Shiro with the fast lap in practice here this evening. And we're going to get started on qualifying.
And right now, as I pull up, I'm going to have to pull up my data table and get reset here and see how these guys shape up in qualifying.
Looks like first one going out here. It's going to be Robertson. Going to be the first one to hit the track, so he should get the pole, at least for a little while. Let's see if he hangs on to it.
Definitely one of the fastest trucks of the first few weeks. Second in points right now coming into this race, and this seems to be one of these type of tracks that could be his bread and butter. He's looking to make his mark here today, possibly to go after another top 5.
Yeah, and that truck looks really good tonight. Got a lot of sparkle, a lot of shine on that paint job. I love that thing. That thing looks so good here tonight under the lights in Vegas. He's running the top line here just to get his momentum up. You're going to see a lot of guys do this on their first lap, get all the way up there against the wall, get the momentum up, and then they'll drop it down for their second lap and be around near the bottom.
Right now, let's see when it comes to lap times when the times come in. Right now, Matthew Boone, he's going to shoot up in front of Robertson to the top of the board. Now Lewis Jr. comes in, and he's going to shoot up as these guys look to make another lap to go for their fast time. But these guys really seeing a lot of resemblance in the lines these guys are running. It's going to be all about maintaining momentum, it looks like, here during this qualifying session.
Yeah, Robertson coming across the line for his second lap here. See how much that improves him. Bam, right back to the top of the sheet for Robertson.
Yeah, and he's going to hold on to it, beating out Boone by about 2 100ths. Nobody in this original group has been able to knock him off. And why does I say that? Nicholas Trader with an identical time, and then Lewis Jr. jumping to the top of the board by 2 100ths of a second. Cardwell, now by 3 100ths, takes the lead over those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of shaking around going here in qualifying. Still some really fast guys to go yet. We haven't seen Vroom Vroom hit the track yet. Vroman. Still got a lot of fast guys to go out here and lay down the lap.
One guy I would not be surprised to see take the pole spot would be the 44 of Ray Lane. I saw him out there in practice, and he looked pretty fast as well.
Cochran with a heck of a lap. He's up to P2. Justin Anasagak with a fast lap. New pole setter.
About to say, if you went ahead and sent him those M&Ms, that might be working. As right as I say that, Vroman by 5 100ths of a second goes up and takes pole spot.
Yeah, he is absolutely moving right here in qualifying. That's a heck of a lap for Vroman. Not sure if anybody's going to be able to beat that lap. That is a fast one right there. Pete's got his lap in. Jeremy Horn's got his lap in. Led him out here doing his lap. Coming off of 4.
And right now I'm looking on board at the 36 as he is making his laps around the track right now.
Ray Lane just popped up to P2. Where is that 36? There he is.
Right there, Quimby, he's going to be able to move to P15 off of his lap.
15 on the sheet. 16 of Baines already made his lap. Sounds like Cole Snyder's winding his lap down, currently P21. Drew Trader got his lap in, currently sitting P24. See Justin Dill throwing around there on the apron, currently being scored P26.
And he may have had a mistake in qualifying. I know it looks like he might have had an extra lap. I don't know if he was able to get his fast lap in or not. That 27 now on the board going after his fast lap. That's going to be Hyatt.
He's got it up to speed, coming down here into 3. Gets it aimed right down there to the bottom. It's his left side's right to the white line. Tracks it out nicely up to the wall. And he disappeared. Where'd he go?
Oh, that's going to be in the qualifying right there.
Oh no, we're out of time.
We were a little bit late there.
Oh no.
Unfortunately. That was not good on our part. But these guys looking to grid up and go gambling here here at Las Vegas. And you knew this question was coming, but Mr. Blair, who were you putting your money on at the round table?
Whew, I was hoping we weren't doing picks this week. I really was. I was really hoping we weren't doing this. Where did Paul Irvin qualify? I like to pick Paul Irvin. He qualified 9th in the 9. Is that right? Yeah, 9th in the 9. Okay, good.
It's too perfect, ain't it?
It's too perfect. I got to take it. I'll take the 9 starting 9th. Mr.
You know what? And I'm going to stick with my little dark horse from earlier, starting P5, that 19 of Matt Cochran. I believe this is the highest qualifying position he's had all year in that Cowboy Motorsports Toyota. That 19, he's going to be ending up taking that trip to victory lane.
I believe you're correct. I think that is the best qualifying run we have seen for Cowboy so far this year. Matthew Boone with a great qualifying run. Lewis Jr. up there in P6. I think that's his best qualifying run of the year as well. So a lot of fast qualifiers here tonight. Going to be an exciting race.
Yeah, but the main thing these guys have to look out for is that Mr. Nicholas Vroman is not pulling the back to front challenge. Who's going to be able to go up there and challenge him once that green flag drops?
Yeah, he's starting off here at the front. Remember Atlanta? He started at the back, and took him a lot of time to pick off all these cars to get up here to the front. So this week he doesn't have to do that. So hopefully he doesn't just check out and leave everybody behind.
Definitely, that would not be good. I know these guys don't want to try to go out here and be like, oh, well, we're racing for second.
Yeah, that's never a fun night when somebody's that dominant and they check out and leave. You know, last week we saw Nick Trader put on a dominant performance, but it was still a great race. You know, remember Shane Wolf led, I think, a couple, 3 laps, something like that. But there was challenges for the lead, so it was still a really great race, even though Trader led most of the whole thing.
And we saw a record, if you want to call it a record, last week, the first time that a single team has led every single lap in a NNR iRacing Truck Series race. One Mind to Design Motorsports led every single lap of last week's race, being the 83 James Shane Wolf and the 56 of Nicholas Trader.
That's absolutely amazing. Shout out to all those guys over at One Mind to Design, all the work they put in, all the practice, and of course all these great paint schemes. I mean, that's really amazing to see 2 guys be that dominant.
Definitely, but now this field's going to be shaken up here at the drop of the green. We're getting set to go here. Stout Whiskey out there in chat saying J-Paul Militia. Well, over here it's called Cold Dog Motorsports, but still he's shouting out good old Josh Arnold starting P17 here tonight. And as these guys get set to go here at Las Vegas, these guys, I mean, I've been excited all week for this, and now these guys are looking to go green here at Las Vegas. I mean, I'm just excited. That truck's pulling off, and here we go. Green at Las Vegas. We're going gambling, boys.
That's right, green flag in the air. Everybody gets away real nice here on the front line. Great restart or start by the 44 lane. Hung right there with Roman the whole time. Roman on the bottom being followed by Anasagak in that 18 machine. So great start so far.
Definitely. Right now going to be looking throughout the back of the pack. These guys are fanning out, sitting near 3 wide throughout the back of the pack. And right now everybody's just looking for a position, looking at what they can do. That 95, though, is looking for separation as those guys all behind them side by side.
Yeah, guys moving around everywhere back here, trying to find the lane that they want to be in that's going to be fastest for their truck here on this opening stint on these fresh tires. Lots of movement from lane to lane right now. Everybody keeping it clean, though, so that's good to see.
Definitely, and I gotta mention something I just realized. We talked about the driver switch and the car switch.
We got Kobe in the grass right now.
That is not good. Right there in the 25 involved as well.
Yeah, Drew Trader in the grass as well. Something happened with Kobe and Drew Trader. Pack's coming by here, so they're going to lose a lap. Kobe's probably going to have to tow this thing.
Yeah, and right now they're talking about, I can hear it in the radio communication, and there we go, the manual caution has been thrown by race control.
Yeah, caution is out. Looks like is that the 84 Smith in that as well?
I believe so. He's smoking there on the bottom.
Yeah, 84 Forrest Smith. He's letting the smoke out of it down there on the apron. He's hustling around to pit road.
It looks like the 37 and 54 may have been involved as well. They went ahead and went down pit road.
Yeah, 54 coming down pit road right here. He's got heavy damage to the left front of his truck, damage to the rear of his truck as well. That left front I wouldn't be too worried about. That rear damage I'd be a little worried about. The damage on the right rear of that 37, that's going to be tough damage. You know, with that arrow, when these trucks yaw out in the corner and that side force, you're going to want that. That is going to hurt Leadenham for the rest of the night right there.
Oh, certainly. And, I mean, this was already a wild restart for some of these guys. But, I mean, you know, just to see just see the unfortunate side effects for a lot of those guys that are involved already on a early caution right there. This is something that they did not want to see this early.
And they only have 4 sets of tires laying in the pits here this evening, so you're going to see everybody staying out right here. You can't risk burning up a set of tires only 4 or 5 laps into a run, so everybody's going to stay out. There's no strategy of coming to pit road at this point. Fuel, not really a player. Tires, definitely not a player, so all the leaders are going to be staying out right here.
And it's going to be questionable to see what we can see out of these guys. Right now, just to give you an update, top 5 currently Nicholas Broman, Ray Lane, Justin Anasegot, Cardwell, and then Paul Urban rounding out the top 5. In the top 10, it's going to be Robertson, Matt Cochran, Nick Trader, Lewis Jr., and Pete Ruzick all in the top 10.
Yep, and we've got 2 tied for biggest mover so far of the race. We got the 92 of Carroll. He's up 12 spots up to P20. And the number 73 of Burt up 12 spots as well, up to P22. So big moves right here for a couple of guys already. And then, of course, that 9 truck of Paul Irvin up 4 spots, tied for second most moves.
So right now, besides those guys, really not much changeover so far to this point, but still a long way to go here at Las Vegas. And right now, these guys, this is going to be more of a calming moment for them. Like you mentioned, not much strategy, no use in going into this point. So these guys are just going to focus on, okay, where am I at as far as track position and what can I do to be able to pick these guys off. We can hear race control talking about possibly with some of these guys actually, trying to stay, calm and stuff like that, reminding guys, hey, this is just the beginning of this race, just calm down and everything will get cycled out. And even though we mentioned some guys, hey, just stay out, a few guys actually going in, Matt Cochran being one of them, and I believe also Enrique Quinones, he's going to be going in as well.
Yeah, it looks like Quinones is in. I see Cochran there, has pit as well. So interesting what's going on here with the 19. Let's see if we can take a look at it, see if there's any damage on this truck that he was having checked out by his virtual pit crew, or what his strategy was of coming down pit road. Left side looks great, nose looks great, tail looks great. See if we can get a shot over here on the right. Yeah, right front nose looks good. That 19 truck looks really strong, so maybe he's coming for just a touch of fuel. I'm not sure if that was a planned stop or if he had some sort of concern that he wanted the virtual pit crew to take a look at for him.
And right here saying out here in chat, #fuel. So 19, he's making on a fuel strategy style of a race here. So he's looking to see how far this 19 can stretch it in this fuel run, seeing if that can help him get some overall track position.
Yeah, so coming for the fuel, he's going to be 5 laps better than everybody else, which maybe by his calculations, that's really going to play into shortening it up and not having to save a stop maybe towards the end. I'm not really sure on the fuel calculations here, but sounds like he's got it figured out, and he's got it in Twitch chat. So that's a busy boy right there.
I'm about to say, he's keeping it lively, keeping it active. He's got to keep himself busy.
Yeah, it's a busy boy right there. Looks like we're doubling up, getting ready to go back green.
Definitely, and right now it's going to be a question for a lot of these guys, who can get that jump on that 95 and make a move, as they were racing side by side behind him. But he did look like he was pulling away, though, so that could be something to keep an eye on. Is the draft too strong here for somebody to pull away?
That's going to be something that time will tell. I have a feeling, Vroman touched on it at Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, that clean air is very key. I think clean air is going to help him out here tonight in the front.
Well, we're going to see here, and I just realized I didn't say the boogity, boogity, boogity again. So right now, these guys coming off of turn number 4, that pace truck, looking to make that hard left turn. And of course, once again, it's not the start of the race. These guys already had to gamble a little bit, but this time we're going to go boogity, 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 back green flag at Las Vegas through the restart zone. Here we go, back green.
Glad we got the boogity, 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 and great restart Bottom line really shot out there. You see the 95 on the bottom, getting a really good restart. 18 followed right along with him. Paul Irvin gave up just a little bit, so the top two guys, that's the 7 of Cardwell on the top. He could clear down if he wanted to, going in through turns 1 and 2.
That 18 all over the back bumper of the 95.
Oh yeah, these guys are racing hard right here. Early on in this thing, we're on lap 8, and these guys are going at it.
And right here, that 18, he was taking no prisoners there on the back straightaway. Got a heck of a run off of 2. And he tried to make him move. That 95 went to block. But that 18, he looks extremely fast right here. Sitting P2, he's setting up a challenge there for that 95.
Yeah, you see the 18, he's kind of arcing it into the corner, entering a little bit higher, and then coming off a little bit higher. He's got really good momentum going through these corners. Hanging right onto that right rear quarter panel, the 95 of Roman here. Hanging tough on this outside is the 18 of Anisigok.
And here we go. He's looking for that little bit of side draft to get a little bit of momentum. Here we go to the high side. Challenge for the lead here. The 18 of Anisigok on the outside of Roman here side by side off the exit of 2. These guys are going to be side by side down the back straightaway to see who can clear who. Who's going to lead this top 5. Down into 3 and 4. Still holding tough.
They both got help behind them. 44 is helping the top side with the 18. 9's helping the bottom side of the 95 of Roman. So these guys are neck and neck going at it right here. You could throw a blanket over these 4 trucks.
You can probably throw a blanket over the top 10 with how close these guys are together. But you're exactly right. That 18 still holding tough on the high side. Lost a little bit with the 44 getting loose behind them, but still holding tough as we head down the back straightaway into 3 and 4.
I think as this goes on, I think that 18 is going to be in the preferred groove as tires start to wear out here. If they keep this up for a few more laps, I don't know how well Roman's going to be able to hold it on the bottom with the tires wearing like that. So I think the 18 and the 44 are in a better spot than the 95 and the 9 on the bottom.
Well, right now, these guys still holding tough. The 69 of Lewis Jr. has now made his way into the picture. He's 3rd on that high line. But overall, he's trying to introduce his way into this battle in the top 5. So right now, that 18 and 95 still holding tough. You can see the line starting to get busy here behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. You see the 7 of Cardwell. He's the first one that's not too wide with anybody. So he can pick his lines the way he wants to. He goes a little bit higher here. Opens the door for the 8 to get low on him. But he's got this really strong run off. So he might drop down to the bottom to block that 8. Going into 3 and 4, but the battle up front is heating up here.
And these guys, they are not giving an inch right now. I don't know how many laps this 18 has been sitting outside of this 95.
This is just the kind of racing you see here at the NNR League with these Truck Series drivers. This is just fantastic racing. A lot of give and take. Everybody showing respect for each other. Just a huge shout out to how great this league is and how great a racing they put on every Monday night for you guys.
And shout out right there. That 95's got to be given a shout out to the 9 behind him. That 18 kind of fell back off into turn 2, and that 9 was able to side draft him a little bit to get some of that momentum off of that 18 to keep him from trying to go up there and getting another run past the 95. He even tried to push the 44 up the track a little bit off of 4 to try to squeeze him into a higher line to get him out of that momentum, but just allowed him to help that 18 even more. So right now, these guys still holding tough side by side, and it looks like that 95 is starting to lose himself a little bit.
Yeah, you can see the 9 of Irvin. He's starting to push up a little bit in 3 and 4. Great give and take with him in the 44 of Lane right there. 44's got the position cleared on the 9 going down the front straight. So I think the tires are starting to wear on the 9. That's why he's starting to push up a little bit. And I think that's why the 95's falling back and the 18's got his nose out front right now on the top side.
Right now, these guys looking to find any way, and I believe right now, as we look here in 3 and 4, I believe off this corner, that 18 might be fully clear off the 95 by the time we get back to the starting strike.
Yeah, this top side's really rolling. 44 is now to the rear quarter of the 95. He's starting to become a player in this on that top side. The 44 of Ray Lane looking really strong up there. 69 of Lewis Jr. also doing a great job. Paul Irvin still hanging tough there on the bottom.
And right now, as these guys continue to battle, to give an update on our top 10, It's going to be Mr. Anderson Gott, Dennis Roman, Ray Lane, and P3, Lewis Jr., P4, Paul Urban, P5, P6 is going to be Cardwell, P8 is Ruzick, P7 is Ruzick, P8 is Joseph Darnell, P9 is Nicholas Trader, and then P10 will be Robertson.
I was just going to say, where's Robertson at? We haven't seen him yet tonight, but it's super early. We're on lap 18 and 134. Anasagak is all clear all around. He can move wherever he wants to, use whatever line he wants to right now. Let's see if he sticks to the top where it's been, brings it down to the bottom. He comes down to the bottom, giving Ray Lane that top line.
And right now, that's gonna that in my opinion is gonna give that 18 a lot more options to be able to control this field now, because now he has the decision on where these lanes move, where do these guys follow him in at. He's got more, much more of a decision to make now, though, as that opens also the options for the 44 to try to set up a pass random. Where does he go, high or low? We saw this with the battle in the real life race the other day, as the Bush brothers were fighting over which line was better. Now you're seeing these top two of Anasagak and Lane trying to do the same thing here.
Yeah, Roman fell back here into third. Paul Urban, who is also working the bottom, is falling back to sixth. Didn't go too far back. You see Roman starting to work his truck up a little bit, seeing what this top line's all about, because that's where he got beat. So he's looking to see where he can make his truck work here towards the top of 1 and 2, right back to the bottom in 3 and 4.
And now that 44, he's making a challenge here, and that 95, he's starting to get his footing back under him as he's looking to make the outside move to the 44.
Yeah, 44 is going to be looking to the inside of Anasagak down here in 1 and 2. That top side so far has had good momentum off the corner. So if we see if that 18 holds that momentum off the top side, looks like he does so far.
And right now, as we can continue on here, you can see that 18 still leading though. And I want to take a look at some of these guys in the back of the pack. We have a battle back here right behind these leaders for top 5 positioning. You got 9 to 69 and the 7 going down behind them as well.
Yeah, the 9, the 69, and the 7 all working real hard as they're going past the lapper here. The 25 of Drew Trader. Glad to see him back with us this week. Missed last week. Mother Nature put a tree down, so he missed last week, but good to see him here. Unfortunately, he's getting lapped here on lap 22.
Definitely happy to see him back. Unfortunate, though, that he got caught up in that first incident and already going 1 down. But we're starting to see a division here in these packs. It looks like the top 3 is just pulled away. Then we have another group of 3, and then it looks like about 7th on back has just been separated from.
Yeah, absolute great battles all over this track right now. Back here looking, we see Joe Darnell there on the top side in that 12 truck. 16 of Bain on the bottom. These guys are really going at it. This is P9 right here is where they're competing. Josh Arnold at 22, working that bottom side with the 16. Looks like the 16 was just a skosh loose on corner entry. Collects it up nicely and gets a good run through the corner.
Definitely, and I think that looseness might have been helped by the 22 giving them a nice little shove into the entrance of the corner.
I think he picked up his corner speed a little bit more than what he anticipated right there.
Did not expect that much of a boost.
But you'll have that in big time auto racing. Taking a look there at 38, Matt Boone, NNR Bowling right there in that 38. Kind of looks like a retro throwback to the old Wrangler number 3 car with that blue and yellow on it. Good looking truck.
Definitely, it kind of had kind of gave me that vibe as well. So definitely, I completely love that paint scheme overall. And right now, we're starting to get a battle back to the lead. That 95 found the speed on the bottom side. We're back side by side here in the lead.
As soon as iRacing decides to catch up, here we go. 95 working that bottom side. He's got his nose in front of Anasagak. He's found the speed back on the bottom. These guys are side by side for the lead, going down the back stretch, coming into 3 and 4.
And right now, as we're about halfway through this run, this is really going to tell us who is better on the long run. And right now, both of these guys up front looking to say, hey, it's me. right now that 95 really proving that this bottom could really work on the long run, but not sure how long it will last. You mentioned your concerns about it earlier. I mean, how long could we expect this bottom line to be the preferred line?
I'll be 100% honest with you. I am shocked at how fast the 95 is on the bottom right now. Early on in a run, with all the grip of the tires, the bottom lane is going to be where you want to be. That's where all the speed's going to be. You saw the 95 edge in the 18 lap after lap after lap on the bottom. Then you saw the 95 fall off, and you saw the 18 go by. You saw the 44 go by. Now the 95's back on the bottom here on lap 28 and still has huge speed. So I'm absolutely shocked as fast as he is on the bottom right now.
Well, right now he's showing out, and it looks like he may even possibly have the speed to eventually clear the 18 if he gets a good enough of a corner. But right here, coming to lap 29 of this race, these guys still holding tough. And I mean, it's been ever since pretty much lap 1. I feel like these guys have been side by side.
Yeah, these guys have been going at it so far the entire time here tonight. It just goes to show you. I know I touched on it a little bit earlier, just how great all these drivers are. I mean, these guys are absolutely amazing with all this side-by-side racing. 29 laps into this thing, we've only had one caution. These trucks aren't easy to drive, especially at this track here in Vegas. I mean, these guys are doing a really great job here tonight and putting on a show for you guys.
And right now, these guys have pretty much been running identical lap times up to this point. The 18, however, was able to get the jump last time by, as he was able to run a tenth faster. Or, sorry, actually, yeah, he was able to run a tenth faster than the 95 of Broman.
This is some great racing action right up here for the lead. You see Ray Lane in that 44, trying to pick the line that he wants to be in. The 7 Cardwell just takes the opposite of what Lane took. And Paul Irvin not going anywhere, hanging strong there in 5th.
I was about to say that 44 is in kind of a difficult position. Hey, which one do I want to push out to the lead?
Yeah, he might have enough speed to get out there in front. Just he doesn't have enough racetrack to get to the front right now. He's got to find a way to get around here if he wants to lead some laps. But it's a little tough to do, especially when you got drivers of the caliber of Anisagak and Froman leading this thing.
Well, right now, I think he might be pretty content as they get single file. I think for the longest time right there, he probably was pretty content saying, okay, well, y'all just stick side by side and learn your tires. I'll just sit calmly back here and just, pick up the pieces.
Yeah, he's in that 44, the 7, and the 9. These guys are in a little bit of an advantage here as the 95 takes the battle back to the bottom of the 18. These guys are in a little bit of an advantage as they're not fighting as hard side by side. They can try to save that right front tire a little bit and hopefully have a little bit more towards the end of this run.
Definitely, and right now I'm going to go back to the field and try to catch up with last week's winner, see how our good buddy Nick Trader is doing out there in the 56. Right now, he is sitting P12, looking to attack our good friend P. To the outside, looks like right now for P11.
Yeah, 56, such a dominant performance last week. Like you touched on, him and his teammate led all the laps, and he's working hard trying to get around repeat there in the 8 truck.
And I gotta say, I love the paint scheme, by the way. The NASCAR Thunder paint scheme, you gotta love it.
That is a good one.
But right now, these guys still battling it out back here. And, does it kind of hinder your confidence? You're coming off of a win, and now you're, back here, P11, just outside the top 10. Does that kind of feel like a stall to the momentum, or how does that feel as a driver coming off of a win, and now you're fighting to have to get inside the top 10?
I think Trader's feeling all right now. He had that huge win last week. He's sitting really well in the points. I believe he's leading the points, if I remember right from the shakedown that you gave us earlier. And,
yes, sir.
Running right there, P10, P11 right now. Lap 35, still 100 laps to go. I think he's okay.
He's just cruising right now. He's going for a Sunday drive. He's going for a Sunday drive on a Monday night.
That's right. Just holding the pretty wheel, taking what the racetrack will give him. Probably saving some of his stuff so he can be there at the end for it.
And we talked about that in practice. A lot of these guys look like they could have been hanging back a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely some strategy going into this. You get up here watching these leaders right now. These guys here, not a lot of strategy. Just go fast, give it all it's got, and just going neck and neck, back and forth, passing this lead around. So these guys are having a lot of fun up here, putting on a show. Other guys might be saving some of their stuff and being ready for the end.
Well, right now, as these guys continue on here, right now it looks like these guys up here in the lead, they're still trading this lead back and forth as well. They're still side by side, surprise, surprise.
I'm just absolutely shocked at how well this 95's been able to hold the bottom and hold this much speed for this long. We're working lap 37 right now, and he hasn't fallen off near what I expected what that bottom line would fall off to. Just an absolute awesome race that these guys are putting on for you right here in the front.
I mean, it's just amazing to watch what these guys can do, and I mean, he is definitely showing that he's got the speed to possibly put that 95 back in victory lane.
Yeah, absolutely. You touched on it earlier. He's one to watch. We interviewed him before the race because he won our last mile-and-a-half race. This guy, vroom vroom, he's got it all put together. He knows what he's doing in these trucks. Super strong racer.
Certainly, and I got a question for you as well to add on to this. If you're stuck side by side for this amount of laps, you can't really clear the guy. You can't get around him. You're just stuck saying, okay, maybe I get momentum here, get momentum here. Is there a level of frustration that comes with not being able to put a guy away and put him in your rearview mirror?
No, with me when I'm driving and I've got a battle like this, I'm grinning ear to ear. This is the most fun you can have on iRacing right here as a driver, is just knowing that you're even with a guy and it's going to take a mistake by one of you to get it sorted back out, especially this long on tires coming to lap 40. You just know that, if he slips up a little bit, you'll get him. If you slip up a little bit, he's going to get you. So the focus is super high, and these guys are having a blast, just smiling ear to ear, I bet you.
Well, right now you can still see. I'm wondering what Ray Lane's thinking, if he's just sitting back there enjoying the race.
Let's get an onboard view with Ray Lane, just so we can see how great of a view of this lead that he has.
Let's see here, and right now, that is a great camera angle as well. These guys, this battle, it's definitely fun to watch from his point of view.
Yeah, he's right here with them, as you see, on the gyro cam of his truck. You hear him feathering the throttle. Those tires are wearing out a little bit, so you know the guys ahead of him are feathering the throttle as well. So this is really good racing right here.
Definitely. So definitely, as these guys keep running through this race here. Right now, let's go over, I know you're our biggest statistician with this, but who is our biggest mover so far of the race?
Big mover right now, we've got Carroll up 17 spots in that number 92 truck. That's our biggest mover in that blue 92 with the yellow numbers on the door. Up 17 spots so far, running P15 right now. Josh Arnold, also a big mover. He's up 10 spots, up to P8.
So right now, both of those guys looking to go and make moves here. You mentioned Josh Arnold. He's moved his way into P8. I would not be surprised to see him shortly put his name up here into the front pack. And somebody that we've, talked about week to week that, we didn't really mention much pre-race. I mean, we talked about him here and there, but that 9, Paul Irvin, he's sitting right there, just sitting pretty back there in P number 4. So he's waiting for a mistake out of one of these top 3 guys.
Yeah, Paul Irvin's been super consistent. We've seen week to week. We've seen him run really well at Daytona. Unfortunately, got in that crash there. Just really consistent. A lot like the 64 Robertson that we're looking at here. Still running P10 for Robertson. Nick Trader in the 56 right there. So you got your points leaders running together. P10, P11 right now. Working lap 44. We're clearing Lewis Jr., who's fell back a few spots. Lewis Jr.'s back 5 spots from where he started, running P11 right now.
Well, right now, as he drops back, somebody that I'm going to talk about that is making his way up through the field, Patrick McQuaid in that 77. He's now to P11, and he is up 6 spots since the drop of the green.
Yeah, absolutely. Great run for the 77. We don't talk about McQuaid near as much as we should. This guy's a great driver. We've seen some really, really high spots from him so far this year. So good to see him on a really good run here at Vegas so far tonight.
Oh, certainly. And as we keep this moving right now, these guys still battling it out. And right now, Cardwell has seemed to join the battle here. That 7 is slowly sneaking up to the back of that 9 truck.
Yeah, 7 definitely getting up here, getting in the battle. As he's working the lap truck of Drew Trader here on the high side. We're starting to see a few guys entering the pits for a scheduled pit stop. We're on lap 46, so we estimated 45 to 50 on a fuel run. We're starting to see a couple of guys come down. We saw Justin Diltz come down. We've seen Bain come down. T. Shero has come down pit road. Leader's still out on the track. Now remember, Cowboy in that number 19 truck running P17, he's got more fuel than everybody else because he topped off on that last stop.
Yeah, well, certainly he may have a strategy to be able to stay out a little bit longer. And I mean, who knows, that extra 5 to 6 laps of fuel could certainly mean the difference between you winning and losing a race. But now the 95 of Roman, he's going to make his entry into pit road.
Yep, Roman, Anasagot, Cardwell all coming in at the same time right here. Roman, you saw, got a little bit loose getting in, just heavy on the braking coming down. Hopefully he didn't get a speeding penalty. Hopefully he got it low down in time. Anasagot also with a big lockup coming to pit road. Gives the 44 Ray Lane the lead here as he's working through 3 and 4. Let's see if he comes this time, or if he's going to stay out for another.
Well, right now he's running the bottom, so I would not be surprised. But no, he's going to stay out and try to push it for as long as he can.
Yeah, he's gonna get all the goodie out of it. Josh Arnold's still out. Jeremy Horn's still out. Carroll's still out. Ryan Shiro's still out, and Quimby's still out right now. And of course, Matt Cochran, he's now up to 7th, as almost everybody is pit. Of the leaders, Ray Lane's the last one to pit.
Certainly, and right now, that I would not be surprised to see that 19 possibly try to stay out and see if he can lead a few laps.
Yeah, absolutely. If I was the 19 of Cowboy and I had extra gas in the truck, I'd be staying out as long as possible, stretch it out, because, you know, sometimes on these cold tires, somebody might come out and spin it right off a pit road and bring out a caution, and then, hey, you get to pit under caution. So I would stay out as long as possible if I was driving that 19 machine.
Also, shout out to Dustin Carroll right now running P3 through this cycle right now. He's been slowly moving his way up through the field, nearly getting into the top 10 before the cycle started.
Josh Arnold giving up the lead. He's coming down pit road now. Going to be followed in by Horn, Carroll, Shiro, and Quimby, which is going to give the lead to Cochran, who we just saw got passed by the 95 of Roman. So if Roman's back on the lead lap, just got his lap back. So that's one thing that Cowboy's got to be thinking about right now. He's giving up a little bit of time to Roman. As you see, Anasagot only 2 trucks back there on the frame. So that's one thing that he's got to be cognizant of. But with the way his strategy is, stay out as long as possible, hope for a caution as Anasagot gets his lap back. Here comes Bain and Irvin getting their laps back as well.
And right now, all these guys getting their laps back, that looks like it may hurt the 19 of overall time to those guys whenever this fully cycles out. But when it comes to the long run and how much that 19 has been able to do so far in this run, it could be better to have the freshest tires towards the end of the run as compared to the beginning of it.
Yeah, another thing to keep in mind here, of him stretching this fuel out, eventually when this last pit cycle comes, he's going to have to take on less fuel than the other guys, which means less time on pit road. So this time that he's given up right now, he's placing his bet that this is going to come back to him later on. And, you know, it's Vegas. Might as well gamble it a little bit.
I love the segue. You're using my dictionary words now.
I learned from the best.
I'm about to say, the only thing I hope he doesn't do is clear out his bank account like I did.
Yeah, well, hopefully this strategy doesn't crap out for him. How many more of these references do we do?
I don't know. I just know he doesn't want to be hitting the slot machines after this one.
Just making sure that this strategy isn't a bust. As the 64 gets the inside of him, gets his lap back.
We're gonna get in so much trouble after this one.
Strong chance.
Oh lordy, you gotta have fun with it. You gotta have fun. But that 19, he's heading down pit road this time.
Yep, he's coming in right now. We anticipated him having about 4 or 5 laps more than everybody else. Looks like it played out just like that. 99 to Cole Snyder, following him in as well. Boehner coming down this time as well.
And right now, we mentioned about the rest of these guys, about how much they'd have to stay out. The one thing, as far as my calculations, and it may be off a little bit, but right now it looks like that 19 may be in position to make it on maybe 1, 2 more pit stops, while it looks like the rest of the guys that had to stay out, they're going to have to make an extra pit stop in comparison to that 19.
Yeah, he might be saving himself a pit stop as we see the 19 come off pit road. He's going to be beat off pit road by the 99 of Cole Snyder. As the race lead heats up here towards the front, we're going to see the 95 of Roman, 18 of Anna Sagak again, and the 9 of Paul Irvin right back up there in P3.
So these guys completely cycling out here, back on track. And you can see these guys. The one thing that 19 wants to pretty much escape from letting happen is going 1 down. So with these new tires, he's looking to try to pull away as much as he can.
Yeah, he needs to stand on it right now. Make sure he stays on the lead lap. And then, remember, he's still got 5 laps better fuel than everybody else. But he needs to make up all of his time right now for about the next 4 or 5 laps. Get all the goodie out of these tires. Everything that'll give him, he needs to take. Because he has a slight advantage right now when it comes to tire wear.
Definitely. Well, I mean, if this is going to be the question. When do we expect these tires to pretty much even out? When does the advantage go away from him? Or when does the disadvantage of the guys who went in earlier start to be more prominent?
That's a really, really, really good question. And I thought I would know the answer to it until I saw the 95 of Roman run 38 laps side by side on the bottom. So now I've taken all my tire notes, I've waddled them up, I've thrown them in the trash. I don't know the answer to that, expert. That's a great one.
Gotta say, it sounded like how I wanted to treat my hand at the poker table last night. Was not the best.
No, just wad it up, throw it away. We need to fold on all my tire notes.
Yep, I'm not even going to call on that one. Just I'm putting my chips in. I'm just going to go ahead and go home for the night.
So we got our big mover right now. Got a big mover into the top 5. We got Bain up here running in the top 5. That's up 12 spots. He's running P4 right here. So great cycle of green flag pit stops for Bain. He's come out as a huge winner, moving up to P4 right here in that number 16 Chevrolet. So shout out to him and his virtual pit crew of making a great call and great lap times and getting up there where he needs to be.
Certainly, and you mentioned it as well. A great overall move for him so far, as he has made great strides in being able to get up close to the front. And right now, our overall biggest mover is still Dustin Carroll, as he still tries to find his way into the top 10.
Yeah, Dustin Carroll, he's back here in the pack with the 12 and the 36. So he's definitely got some positions he can pick up. That's Darnell and Quimby right there in front of him. He's working the bottom on Darnell, our Daytona winner. So he's working down there to the bottom. Looks like he's going to clear him. That is going to be for position there. So Carroll on the move back here in the back, up 15 spots from where he started. So great race so far for Carroll.
And right now, I would not be surprised to see him trying to make his way into the top 5 later in this race. It looks like he really has probably one of the best long run trucks in the field.
Yeah, another one that we talked about for long run speed. It's 64 Robertson. He's currently running in 9th position. There he is. 8th, Nick Trader, last week's winner. So Robertson's kind of holding steady from where he started. He's started 8th. He's running 9th right now. He's just staying super consistent so far in the early going of this race as we're coming up to halfway here shortly.
Yeah, about 5 laps from halfway. And right now, these guys, they're looking to see what they can possibly do as far as strategy-wise, because strategy, we talked about it playing a big part and we were asking ourselves, why would anybody pit on that first initial caution or whatever? But it really looks like it may have fell into the hands of Mr. Matt Cochran, and it looks like he may have made a great call, because looking at it right now, that those 5 laps looks like it could really separate what he can do as far as strategy goes.
Yeah, and if he can save a stop, like you talked about earlier, if he can save a stop, I don't know what pit stop time is around here. Obviously, pit stop's going to be about 14 seconds, but, you got to lower it down to 50 miles an hour. You got to drive all the way down there at 50 miles an hour, get your service done, drive out at 50 miles an hour, then get back up to speed. We're talking, 30, 45 seconds, something like that, just an estimate. So if he could save a stop, that's going to be saving 30 to 45 seconds here on this race. This could play out huge for Cowboy in that 19 track.
And overall, that would mean a lot more as well, as far as that is a whole lap basically you could have over a guy like Broman, or heck, Broman, Anasagok, Lane, guys like that, having a whole lap over them, and pretty much just being able to cruise and control your own race. That's probably the best position you could possibly be in.
But just coming towards halfway, the one thing that is absolutely going to kill that strategy is if we get a caution here in about 15 laps, because then everybody's going to come.
Don't bring up the commentators, Curse. We're not.
I'm just saying that would kill the strategy.
I'm about to say, I already feel bad for making you a believer.
Look, I'm looking at all sides of the ball, looking at all plays on the table.
Oh Lordy, please! Oh Lordy, we're keeping up with the references. This is probably going to go on all night long. I feel bad for the viewers out there in chat. We're having too much fun with us.
Well, I hope everybody out there in Twitch is having a good time watching this race. I'm having a blast watching it. We're watching this battle right here. 81 of Jeremy Horn, 77 of McQuaid, and the 8 of Repeat going at it back here. This is for 12th place on the racetrack. We still got Vroman out here in the lead. Paul Irvin's made his way up to 2nd. So let's hop up here and take a look. Paul Irvin's got around Anasagok. Anasagok has fallen back to 3rd. Then right behind them is 2 lap trucks, the 73 and the 25. So we got a 3-truck breakaway up here.
Yeah, and Broman, he's feeling pretty good right now, as he has finally reached that clean air. And right now, that's pretty much a deadly combination. We saw that Atlanta clean air and that 95. They go together like 2 peas in a pod.
I also noticed he's driving the Ford again tonight. So remember, he had the Toyota out at Atlanta, switched to the Ford during practice, won the race in the Ford, and then he brings the Ford back here to Vegas.
I'd say he might have just said bye-bye to his Toyota days.
He might be rocking blue oval the rest of the season. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
If he wins here tonight, why not certainly keep it going?
Absolutely. If I was him, I would sell off all my Toyotas if I won twice in a Ford.
Just so just sell them all off. Don't worry about it. Just keep up with those Fords now.
That's right. We're
But
only worried about the 95 Fords.
Speaking of the Fords, right now they have the least amount of trucks in the top 10 as of right now. Right now, only having two Fords in the top 10. 3 Toyotas are in the top 10, and then 5 Chevys cycle out the rest of it.
These guys are really racing hard back here. We're seeing a lot of Chevys going at it. As you see Repeat back there, you see Quimby back there.
These guys are just having a lot of fun out there on track. And, you can't blame them. I'm even having a lot of fun up here in the booth. It's always fun to be able to watch these great NNR guys. And as we have just recently passed halfway, these guys, now the focus turns to strategy on when's the next pit stop going to be. Pitting around lap 40 to 50, somewhere in there, you can expect around lap 80 or 90 is going to be the next pit stops. And we're only about 10, 15 laps away from that cycle beginning. Yeah,
already. It's almost pit stop time again already. Surprisingly, we see Bain and Lane going at it right here. This is 4th and 5th position on the track. You can't, on these angles, you can't even see Anasagak in P3. Those top three have checked out right now. So we got a three truck battle for the front, but good racing action all through the pack.
Most certainly, as they keep it going here at Vegas. I want to go back and look at one of our good friends as well. Let's go take a look at our good buddy. We haven't talked about him much today, but we have to shout him out. Let's go look at old Grandpa Coey back here in the 24. Right now running, it shows on my screen he's running in the 21st position. I'm not sure if that's the case, but good old Grandpa Coey himself. Just got to give him a shout out for putting this series together. Definitely, if it wasn't for him, this would not be happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see him having putting together a decent run here on the lead lap right now. Good speed out of him. He had a great run last week at Phoenix. I think he got a top 10 if I remember correctly. I think he finished 8th if memory serves correctly. I'd have to double check the stats, but we've seen some speed out of this 24 truck so far this season, and currently hanging in there tough on the lead lap right now.
Yeah, he's definitely hanging on right there, but definitely just want to give him a shout out for all the work he does right there. And that 24 looking good as ever. He mentioned at a play track, though, he might be running a very special scheme in the next few weeks. So keep an eye out for that as well. We'll be sure to shout it out here on stream, but definitely shout out to Grandpa Coey as these guys still battling it out. And I know you switched over to the 36 at Quimby to look over at him. He's in that Kool-Aid scheme.
Yeah, that Kool-Aid machine looks good. Just saw Josh Arnold getting ready to make a move here on the inside of Lewis Jr. This is for 9th position. So we got a battle here at the backside of the top 10 as Josh Arnold and Lewis Jr. start going at it for P9.
And as these guys battle it out, every position's going to matter when it comes to the overall points. Even though we're only 4 races in, these guys have to go with the mentality that, every position matters, especially in this type of point system. So I would not, I would not put it past a few of these guys to be a little extra aggressive as we head down the stretch to try to get that one extra spot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Every spot matters. 22 race season, we're on race 4, but there's no throwaway races. You've got to show up, you got to be fast every week. So these guys are really putting on a show week in and week out for every position throughout the pack here.
And right now, as we keep it going, I'm actually going to go and take a look at Patrick McQuaid, who has he's made his way up towards the front. I want to go check him out if I can find his if I can go and find his car. I got to look for it here. As there it is right there, that 77. He's been making his way towards the front now in P13.
Yeah, I got a really good run going on here. P13, he's up 4 spots from where he qualified. So good run going on so far. He's got Quimby behind him. He's got Robertson ahead of him. So he's in good fast company right here. So good run from McQuaid so far tonight.
Yeah, and he's trying to track his way into the top 10. So right now, a great run right there for the 77. Would not be surprised to see him get up there in a short amount of time as this race continues and we get through these pit stops just ahead of us. As right now, I think this might be one of the best runs we've seen out of the 77. He's had pretty much an off and on year in which we've seen him, have some good spots at times, but also, it's fallen off a little bit. So great to see some success out of that 77 overall heading into the later stage of this race.
Absolutely. These guys are putting on such a fantastic show. I know I keep saying it, but just great racing out here so far. We got a little battle going on right here. Looks like 38 of Boone has caught the back of Cardwell. This is for 6th place on track. 38 is going to look to the outside. That's NNR Bowling. Matthew Boone, the Wisconsin driver, going to the outside of Cardwell here. See if he's got enough for him coming off turn 2 with that big momentum on the outside that we've seen sometimes here.
And it looks like he may be able to get it.
Yeah, great run for the 38. Puts him up there in 6th spot. great run for Mr. Boone so far this evening.
Definitely, and right now, as we continue on here, we're starting to get into the area in which green flag pit stops might be happening pretty soon here. So right now, these guys, I would not be surprised. I'm just waiting for the first guy to be able to say, okay, it's time for me, and head down pit road.
Yeah, once that first guy comes in, he's going to draw some other people in, just like we saw last time. Vroman and Anasagak, they hit it right at the same time last time. Lane stayed out for another lap, which cost him a little bit of time. Like we talked about, he's fallen back from these top three just a little bit. So timing this just right is going to be key on this green flag pit stop upcoming.
Almost certainly, and right now, as these guys continue to run here, it's going to be interesting to see what they end up doing. But we're going to keep it rolling here. As right now, I'm interested to see about a certain battle. I got to go find them and look and see where they are located at right now. Here we go. Let's see if I can get it up here. The 9 and the 18, they pretty much been at each other's throats. Not literally. They're not, they're not enemies, but looking at how they've been battling on track week after week, this 9 and the 18, it looks like it's been a friendly rivalry just brewing, and you could see how close they are on track. That 18 trying to catch back up to Paul Irvin.
Yeah, that 9 and 18 have been going at it. These guys have been doing a great job. Vroman's shot out to about a 2-second lead. Then there's about a 2-second gap off the back of Anasagak. So these guys are in a really good spot for battle. They don't have to worry about losing any spots to Lane back there in P4. But they can't give up too much time to Vroman. He's 2 seconds out in the lead here. Just really, really dominating this portion of the race.
And right now, I know the best thing for that 18, the one thing he's praying for right now, we're seeing a green flag run right now, but I bet you that 18 is looking to see a little bit of yellow get spread across the track.
There's a lot of guys that would love to see the yellow right now. Anybody other than having a 9 and a 5 on their truck, anybody other than that would love to see a yellow. Get this field tightened back up a little bit. Vroman's out to just such a commanding lead right now. Paul and Justin here would love to see it. And definitely Ray Lane in that 44. You've seen him fast all night long, but he's 4 3/4 seconds off the lead right now, running P4.
So yeah, definitely a shakeup would be greatly appreciated. And that 9 having to change his lane as they caught the 23 of a lapper, that really affected his corner and put that 18 right to the bumper there going into 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's good heads-up driving by everybody right there. 23, that's Justin Diltz, did a good job holding his line. 9 had to adjust where he wanted to go a little bit, but it's not the 23's job to, let the 9 know where he's going to go. 23 just went in there, did a great job, but Anasagak gets past the 9 right here.
Right now, that 18 looks to be coming alive, and now he's got to go on track mode. He's got to go and catch that 95.
Yeah, maybe these two could hook up and get in line with each other and maybe see a little bit of pushing. See these two Toyotas get hooked up and chase down that blue oval.
See, the last time we mentioned something about these guys pushing each other, I think that 18 ended up in the outside wall.
Very possible. Very possible.
So I don't think these guys are going to be too much of that. And right now, the first, I'm hearing the radio call right now, Justin Diltson, the 23, is going to be pitting, and I believe more guys, Cardwell also announcing he's going to be pitting in this time by.
Yeah, Justin Diltz, just saw him get passed by Irvin and Anasagak. He's coming down pit road. Leader's still on track. Seeing a pretty good battle right here. 22, the 36, the 92, all in here together. Carroll with a huge run to the back door of Quimby right there in that corner. Holy cow. I think 92 had to check up a little bit, as much of a run as he had on the back of Quimby.
I'm about to say he might have had to. definitely don't want to cause an incident, especially right before the cycle begins.
Now, right now, you see the 92 drop into the inside here.
I think the only chance you'd want to see that is if you're the 1-9, but that's after those guys head down. He stays out for his next few laps.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he could be a huge beneficiary if a caution comes out here once these cycle. You see Bang enter the pits, Tyndall entering the pits, Darnell entering the pits. So a lot of green flag stops going on right now. Bain was running P5. He's on pit road, so he's the first one of the top 5 to pit. As you see the 16 at the bottom of the screen coming back out onto the track.
And right now, a lot of guys, the 22 of Arnold, the 99 Snyder, the 36 of Quimby, a lot of guys heading in. Ray Lane, the first of the original top 4, he's going to be the first to enter pit road.
Yeah, Ray Lane's in, Snyder's in, Hyatt's in. Trader's in, Boone's in as well, McQuaid's coming down pit road. So a lot of these guys in that top 10 coming down pit road as the leader, Roman's still out there on point.
And right now, just as I'm looking at our stats board that we're seeing right now, surprise, surprise, the 19 is shooting up these boards as people head down pit road.
Ooh, Anasagak, big slide coming in. Vroman's in right now. Anasagak's in. Anasagak had a huge slide coming to pit road. Doesn't look like he made any contact. Hopefully he wasn't speeding. Remember, he locked it up on the last time that they came to pit road, so hopefully everything's still okay on that 18 truck.
Trying to gain as much time on that 95, I assume. Right here looking to have a good pit stop and see if he can get a better exit than him as well. Getting back up to speed. That's what it's all about, is seeing what you can do as far as pit times. That 95's away, and as they drop the jack on the 18, he's going to be away.
9 of Paul Irvin. He inherited the lead right there, stayed out an extra lap. He's now on pit road. That's going to give Robertson the lead, a guy that we haven't talked about near enough so far tonight, but he's going to lead a lap. As you see the 20 and the 44 right there behind him. 44, that's Ray Lane. He was the first one to pit out of the guys in the top 5. He is all over the back bumper of that 64.
And right now, as he dives it down below him, he's going to be the first to get himself unlapped. And it's going to be interesting to see what he can do as far as the rest of the guys in front of him, being the 18 and 95, seeing how much time he gains on them as we continue to roll through the pit stops here.
Yep, 64 on pit road now, which, as we knew, was going to give the number 19 Cowboy the lead back right here. Remember, he's on the longer fuel strategy. He pitted on the first pit stop on lap 4, if I remember correctly, to get a little bit extra fuel. So he's going to run it long here. And his strategy, like we talked about the last time, is he's hoping for a caution real soon so he can pit under caution.
And right now, he's looking for anything, you know, some debris on the track, somebody to catch a spin, you know, something that a commentator's curse would have to happen with. And I mean, you know, I would have felt actually bad if something would have happened right there. But that 19, he's hoping for anything to happen as these laps continue to tick down. And I know that right now he's just hoping and praying there in that 19 that, you know, something happens.
Yeah, he's looking for hot dog wrappers. He's looking for water bottles. He's looking for parts of the track coming up like they did at Atlanta on Sunday. Anything whatsoever to get a caution to come out, because Roman's only 13 seconds back from him and closing.
Well, I mean, I'll give you one you probably haven't heard in a while. Somebody climbing the fence.
It has been a while.
About to say, how long has it been since that Richmond or Dover race?
Yeah, that's Richard, right? Hey, expert, do Cowboy a favor, run down there and climb the fence for him, will you?
I'm about to say, they're going to have to, you know, Fox has the Fox Network type thing. NBC, I believe their mascot has been like the groundhog or the beaver or whatever has shown their face on the track before. And of course, I mentioned Fox has their own mascot as well that's been prominent at a few races. I mean, I think a wild expert might get to start climbing the fence.
I think so. I think Cowboy would love you forever if you did.
Love is a strong word right there.
Here he comes to lap 100. We got Cowboys your leader, Vroman running P2 right now, Paul Urban P3, Anasagak P4, Lane P5, Nick Trader P6, Matthew Boone P7, Bain P8, McQuaid up to P9, and Lewis Jr. rounds out your top 10.
And one thing I'm actually going to mention, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the speed chart right now, and it looks Matt Cochran is running about 10 miles per hour slower than the rest of the field right now.
Yeah, these guys on fresh tires are really closing in on him with this gap that he's got. So he really would love to see a caution right here.
I think that I was about to say that 10 mile per hour slower. That's telling me something. He's trying to save as much as he can, just hoping to stay out. And I just heard the radio communication come over. He said 19 hitting this lap. He's coming in.
Coming down to pit road. He's fought the hard fight, trying to lead the laps, trying to get this strategy to work. This will be his last pit stop for sure. With only 33 laps to go, he's definitely good to make it to the end. He doesn't even need a full tank of fuel. So hopefully this 19 pit crew could get him in and out and back on track as soon as possible so he can still get a really great finish here tonight.
Certainly, but talk about a great finish and a great performance. Leading now by almost 3 to 4 seconds, Nicholas Vroman has just been able to gap the field. I mean, this is like deja vu all over again.
Yeah, he's got a 3.2 second lead over Paul Urban right now. That 95 is just running so strong. Out there, clean air. Lap 103 going up on the charts. 95. This race is in his hands right now. Just a really great run so far.
And I mean, I just you got to commend a performance like this, and I think he might be sticking with Ford for the rest of the year, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I expect to see a blue oval the rest of the year on that 95 nose. No
Would not be shocking right there.
Yeah, he's going to be going all in on that blue oval for the rest of the season.
About to say, it bringing him a little bit of good luck, but right now, I know that he's probably enjoying this West Coast sweep, his first start since Atlanta. So he missed Phoenix, comes back here at Vegas, and now next week we're going to be going to Old California Auto Club Speedway, which these guys are going to be battling it out for 135 laps there. So if you thought Vegas was wild, just wait for Auto Club. That track is a lot wider and drives very similar with a high draft straightaway and very tight technical corners.
Yeah, and the possibilities for 3 wide there are going to be endless. For as wide and sweeping as those corners are in California, I think 3 wide is going to be quite common for most of the night, next Monday night here on the Expert Racing Network.
I was about to say, why stop at 3 wide?
You might see 4, you might even see 5, really.
I'd say these guys are going to give us a show as they always do. I know these guys are really waiting for that race to start up next week. But right now, still a whole race ahead of them here. I mean, this one is far from over. We still have a long way to go. There's definitely a possibility for a late race caution.
Oh, absolutely. If the late race caution comes out, it's going to shake this field up. It's going to shake these strategies up. There's a lot of excitement still to be had here in the Vegas area. So great racing so far. We've seen a heck of a show. A lot of side-by-side battling. A lot of 2 wide, a little bit of 3 wide when passing lap traffic, and these guys do an amazing job every Monday night.
Certainly. As right now, I notice you're keeping an eye on the 7 right now. He's in a battle, trying to get his way into the or manage his way to the top 5 or whatnot. So currently sitting right now in P5.
Yeah.
Cardwell is actually in P12. My numbers board is actually messing up for me. Gotta love it.
Yeah, P5 is actually Nick Trader right now. He's got Matthew Boone right on his tail here. This is a battle for 5th. We've seen NNR bowling. Matthew Boone makes some passes so far, but getting around Nick Trader is no easy task.
Certainly, and if there's one person we got to give a shout out if there was one person I did expect to be the biggest mover of the race, I thought it'd be Dustin Carroll, something like that. Right now, if my timing board's correctly, it's showing me somebody who has moved up 22 spots. And I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know if it's correct. I'm hoping my timing board's not lying to me right now. But it's telling me that our good friend Grandpa Coey has moved up 22 spots.
That's quite the move there. We see Coey here in this 24 position, or in the 24 truck in 23rd place.
Okay,
my
so
timing.
Yeah, and my timing, it's showing him in 14. So you gotta love when the timing's messing up on you.
Gee, thanks iRacing. We're so happy. Totally kidding. We're here at 25 laps to go. iRacing does a great job putting this on for us every week.
Definitely.
What an absolute fantastic racing service this is. Talk about a little bit, compare console racing to iRacing for us, because I know you got a little bit of experience with both.
Oh, Lordy. iRacing is definitely, I will say, from a driver standpoint, a lot more difficult, a lot more technical. You really have to be a lot more conservative. I mean, it's really more for the competitive guys that are, looking to say, okay, take it seriously, trying to, a lot more give and take is necessary. On the console side, there is a reason I'll say I was called the most hated for a few years. But definitely iRacing has put so much into their program. A great job over here. And also the console side, they announced new changes for the NASCAR Next game as well. So definitely a lot of hope on both sides and a lot of enthusiasm on both sides, as well as both sides of the community continue to grow and continue to get better.
I've driven the console game a little bit. I actually drove it on my PC, the NASCAR Heat game. I drove it on my PC setup. Definitely fun. Definitely fun to race there, but it feels like, just like you talked about, it felt like this was a little bit more technical than the other, a little bit more give and take, and got to be a little bit more accurate as a driver on the iRacing side is what it feels like to me.
Yep, definitely. And talk about, you got to be an expert to be able to race on the iRacing side. And talking about being an expert, Jacob Nichols, thank you for following and being the newest member of the expert community. Thank you a lot, man.
Awesome segue, and thank you, Jacob. Appreciate that follow. Thank you so much.
About to say, I'm starting to learn the segues from you. You're teaching me a lot here.
We're seeing Cowboy here in this 19 truck, working his way past Anastasia and Irvin. Now, remember, Cowboy's coming from a lap down here, so this is not for position. But if he can chase down Vroman, get back on the tail end of the lead lap, that'd be great for him. Currently running 22nd, according to my board. He's the best on tires right now. He's definitely good on fuel. So this 19 been playing this strategy all night long. 20 laps to go. Let's see how it works out for him.
And right now, looking at probably, in my opinion, the best battle on track right now, the 56 and 38 have closed in on each other.
Yeah, this battle is really starting to heat up between the 56 and Nick Trader. Run that really cool EA Sports throwback scheme. And then the 38 of Matthew Boone running that CorvetteParts.com, looking like an old Wrangler paint scheme. So these guys here, I wonder if they got together and said, hey, let's do throwback schemes tonight, and then let's race next to each other. I wonder if they planned that.
About to say, they're just like, we got to get together sometime for this race or whatnot. But, I mean, you talk about console games, definitely. What is your favorite console game? I got to ask you, through all your time of being a NASCAR fan, what was your favorite game to be, charge up the PS2 or the PS3 and go back in time a little bit? Which one was your favorite, or possibly started out your console gaming?
Well, it's really close between two of the favorites. First one being Dirt to Daytona. Absolutely love that game. So much fun moving up through the ranks. And then this NASCAR Thunder game that Nick Trader has on his truck tonight was one of my all-time favorites, because this is one of the first games that the career mode and the ownership mode was really important, and you could choose, to upgrade your engines or R&D your chassis or whatever you wanted to do, upgrade your pit crew and with your race winnings and your money. So I really loved that part of the game, and that's one of the things that I really love about console games. iRacing here, there's no upgrades to that kind of stuff, which is one thing that I kind of miss, but one thing that I definitely love about console racing. What about you, Expert?
Oh, I may get hate for this one, but my favorite one all the time, I gotta love the original Chase for the Cup 2005. That was one of my favorite ones. I started out on NASCAR Thunder 2002, but definitely I found a love and sometimes hate relationship with the AI on Chase for the Cup 2005.
I didn't spend a whole lot of time playing that, so I might have to stop by my local GameStop and see if they have that in the vintage section. See if I can break that out and grab it.
About to say, might need to dust off the PS2 for that one.
Interestingly enough, I dusted off the PS3 like 2 weeks ago. So I know where my PS2 is located.
Got to go back in time a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And as these guys get to 15 laps to go, I'm going to go ahead and do it. You know what's about to happen here.
Are we doing the driver of the night poll?
Oh yes, you know it. You definitely do.
Is it driver of the night time already? 15 laps to go? Holy cow! Where is
driver
this
of the night time? I mean, they always say, time flies when you're having fun.
I kind of feel like I'm in a real casino. No clock, no windows, no nothing. Just sitting here watching great race in action.
And you lose track of time and track of your money while you're sitting there too.
I'm hanging on to that with both hands, trying to be good, so that way Grandpa Coey makes sure to pay that invoice at the end of the night.
Okay, so let's go. We got to go over here. We can't be getting into no more trouble. We got to figure out. So far I have two choices. Our good friend Pete, our good friend McQuaid, sitting out there. I'd also like to talk to good old. I'd like to talk to good old Ray Lane if possible as well. I mean, let's look two more. We got two more spots. Who are we looking at?
Right now, I want to put Tyndall in there. He's up 18 spots, so he's having a really good run tonight. So Tyndall in the 88. Let's see. Who else do we got? There's so many great choices here. So who do you got?
I have Ruzick, McQuaid, Lane, and Tyndall. You know what? Why not, since he was one of the guys that went with that alternate strategy, why not throw our good friend Matt Cochran in?
It's like you read my mind. Get out of my head, sir. I was just getting ready to say the same thing. Let's talk to Cowboy and let's talk about his strategy, and if he had to do it all over again, what changes would he make, if any? Because it's 11 laps to go. We're yet to see how this strategy plays out. This might turn on to be the greatest strategy we've ever seen. Then again, it might end up with him a lap down where he currently is. We'll find out here shortly.
We certainly will, and right now that poll is going out there in chat, so if you are viewing out there in expert land right now here tonight, go ahead, vote for who you want to see up here with our top three later tonight for the driver of the night viewing. The poll is out there. Be sure to go and drop your vote.
Absolutely. That's one of the most fun parts about all this. Every Monday night we interview the top three, and then we do this bonus driver of the night thing. And these drivers, they love it. So make sure to vote. Everybody out there in Twitch, they absolutely love it.
Definitely drop your vote on the poll for who y'all want to hear tonight alongside our top three. And they may even end up in the top three. We still have laps on the board. We may be closing the book a little too early here.
It's possible, but then again, if let's say Cowboy gets up here and gets in the top three with this alternate strategy, and he wins driver of the night, not trying to influence the votes, but then we just interview him twice.
Oh Lord. Let's interview the guy that was out there before the final cut. Oh Lord, you gotta love it. But these guys, as the laps continue to wind down, it's been a great overall race for a lot of these guys. Definitely looking to overview our top 10 so far. Roman P1, Irvin P2, Anasagot P3, P4 is the Lane, P5 Nick Trader, P6 is going to be Matthew Boone. P7, Lewis Jr. P8 is Horn. P9, McQuaid. P10 is Bain.
Just an absolute fantastic race. Vroman over here being the bus driver, taking everybody to school so far here tonight. But we got 7 laps to go. We got alternate strategies. I mean, anything could happen still with these 7 laps to go.
Oh, you're exactly right. And right now, for those fans, 16 viewers out there in chat, be sure to drop your vote. We got 1 vote out there in the poll here tonight, and it's already, you're lucky enough it's for Mr. Cochran himself.
All right, that's a good vote. He probably voted for himself. We know he was in the truck and in chat at one point. I don't know if he is. It was 6 laps to go, but it could have been.
Could have been. It definitely could have been him. But as we still get underway, 6 laps to go, like you mentioned, and right now heading back up to the front. I'm going to go back up to Roman, and I mean, let's go over kind of like how we got here. That 95, we knew he was a force to be reckoned with coming into this race. We knew he had a shot to pretty much be able to go out here and making it 2 for 2 on mile and a halves. But that 95 has really been a different breed so far here today, and he has really been able to show off his skills.
Just an unbelievable run. I know I touched on it earlier in this race, but to run those 30-some laps on the bottom side by side with Justin Anasagog, I mean, that is just absolutely impressive to me that his truck didn't fall off all that much. He was able to keep the speed up all night long, keep the truck clean with all that side-by-side racing. I mean, just an absolute great race so far by the 95.
Almost certainly. And right now, I'm hearing the 73 said he was reckoning 1 a little bit, but I think he might have got it back together. I don't believe any caution is coming out, but these guys with lap cars all over in front of this 95 here.
Somebody went down and hit the inside wall. We're watching Anasagog and Irvin. This is the battle for P2 right here. Anasagog gets the run on the bottom side of Irvin. Irvin hanging strong on the top side. This battle's for P2, so a lot of great racing still going on.
Almost certainly, and right now that 95, all he is doing is just praying, no caution, no caution, no caution, no caution.
That's the last thing the 95 wants to see right now is a caution. I'll tell you that, especially being out to this big of a lead, this dominating of a performance. He knows how fast that 18 is. He knows how fast that 9 is. Don't forget about that 44 either. Super fast truck by Ray Lane tonight. He does not want to see a caution right now at all. He doesn't want to have anybody contest for this win.
Yeah, and right here heading now, he's going to be heading down the back straightaway this time and going into 3 and 4. He is looking to try to get to that white flag as quick as possible. As he dives it now into 3 and 4, looking off of turn number 4, he's looking to go and cross the stripe. 1 lap to go here on the Expert Racing Network, and that 95 has just put on a dominant performance as of this week. 2 starts, 2 wins, as long as he can make it through these final 2 corners without incident. And that 95 is just proven to be a force to be reckoned with at these mile and a halves. And here off of turn 4, the 95 going 2 for 2. He wins the gamble here at Vegas. The 95 is your winner at Las Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely dominant performance by the 95. 2 times we've seen him on a mile and a half here so far this year. 95's brought it home both times. Absolute great run. Fantastic. He gets to collect all the chips tonight. Great run by Vroom Vroom Vroom.
About to say he definitely had the hand tonight. I will say that.
It definitely had the hand to beat.
Oh Lordy, we're going to get kicked out of the booth for all these references here tonight.
Strong chance. How's the vote looking for driver of the night?
Well, you're going to be very, very happy.
Oh, good.
Mr. Matt Cochran is your winner.
All right. Get some donuts now from the 95. So let's just run down your top 10 real quick. We got Vroman P1, Paul Irvin came home P2, Justin Anasagog P3, Ray Lane in 4th, Nick Trader, great run for him, came home 5th. 6th place, Matthew Boone. Lewis Jr. in 7th. Jeremy Horn in 8th. Patrick McQuaid in 9th. Bing came home in 10th.
So right there, that being your top 10, definitely shout out to those guys. And in just a little bit, we're going to be talking to our top 3 as they head into the green room. We know that Anna Sagak and Irvin are going to be coming and joining us here in just a second. Right now, we're going to go ahead and see if we can pull Mr. Anasagak here into broadcaster. All right. It's been a long time coming. I know he's been wanting this interview for a while because he has been mentioning multiple times that he does not want another DNF. And Blair, you've been owing a talking to this man for a while, so I'm going to let you take this one.
Yes, sir, Mr. Anasagak. Congratulations on that P3. I'm so glad I didn't pick you this week. First time in 2 weeks I haven't picked you. I'm sitting here eating fudge brownie M&Ms. How'd your race go?
Oh, that's why I finished the race. I finally finished the race. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, that was a good race actually with the 95. I didn't know he was gonna be that strong after pit stops, but he just took us to Gapplebee's. Me and the nine stayed together pretty much all night with each other, and man, finally finished the race.
Yeah, really strong run for you. Talk about those first 38 laps or so where you and the 95 were just side by side the entire time. Were you smiling ear to ear? Were you sweating bullets? What were you feeling during that point of the race?
Oh man, I was just having fun. I told him, I was like, I hope you're having fun because I'm having fun. And he said, yeah, yeah, he's having fun. And then I finally conceded right before pit stops, and I almost wrecked it going on the pit road twice tonight. But man, it was such good racing out there with the 9 and the 44 and the 95 all night.
Yeah, absolute great race. Any shout outs you want to get in tonight?
Everybody for keeping it green, besides that one manual caution for that big wreck in the back. Everybody that put this together, you guys. I'm still waiting for those M&Ms. But yeah, man, just everybody tonight.
Got them right here
good.
for you.
All righty.
About to say Blair's going to get us in trouble with that, but definitely congratulations once again, my friend. I'm going to send you actually to General. I think the drivers meeting is going to be starting in there shortly, so I'm going to send you up there. But once again, congratulations on the top 3 and finishing the race, man. Definitely, I know you've been wanting to.
Yeah, it's been a hard-fought season so far. Thank you.
Well, definitely go celebrate. We're going to send you up there. Yeah, and now we have our second place driver, and none of us picked him as well, so we ended up having a good run as well.
Actually, I did pick him, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Starting 9th, yeah. Mr. Paul Irvin in the 9.
Yep. I forgot about that.
Great paint scheme on there tonight. Coming home P2. Tell us about your race, Paul.
The game plan was to fall back. It felt kind of like a restrictor plate track with being able to go wide open for most of it and being in the draft, and then found myself in 5th and thought, you know what? I don't think I want to go back there. I'm running pretty strong up here. I trust the guys that I'm running around, and managed to keep it up front all night and bring it home second.
Yeah, great run. Talk about those opening laps with U4 trucks. You know, the 95, the 9, the 18, the 44, U4 trucks all right there together, 2x2 for about 30 some laps. How much fun was that? It was great watching up here in the booth. Tell us about it.
Definitely. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun racing with those guys. Kind of would have wanted it to be a little bit calmer, try to get a bigger gap between us and the rest of the field, but it ended up working out in the long run. So yeah, had fun and great. We could put on a show there for a little while.
Yeah, it was a great show. I know everybody out there watching in Twitch really loved the show you guys put on. Good, hard, clean racing all night long. So shout out to you guys. It was absolutely amazing to watch. Speaking of shout outs, you got any shout outs you'd like to give after this race?
Yeah. Shout out Roman for just a dominant run second half of the race, and shout out to Poopy for finishing a race and deciding not to push me too hard and taking me out.
Right on. Great job, Paul. Look forward to seeing you next week at Auto Club.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Definitely, and we're going to send you up to General now, Paul, because we don't want you skipping out on the end of the drivers meeting, so we're going to send him up there. But now we're going to pull in our winner. There's going to be Mr. HD. We talked to him pre-race, and we said, hey, hopefully we're talking to you after the race. That was the one time the commentator's curse actually backfired and actually gave us a good result. So right here, Mr. HD Motorsports Nicholas Roman, you made it 2 for 2 at mile and a half, my friend. And that 95, you switched from Toyota to Ford, and I think you might want to stay with those blue ovals.
Yeah, man. First off, shout out to everybody on the track, man. It was a really, really fun race, especially with Poopy early on. That first little stint we had, side by side, pretty much that first full run. And shout out to Paul and all them, man. But yeah, dude, the Ford was strong tonight. I knew I would have a fast truck. I think ultimately what won me the race though was on and off pit road. That's where I kind of was able to gap them a little bit, and I think that was honestly the biggest difference.
Well, definitely, you had a heck of a run today. I mean, talk about that battle a little bit because we focused on it for a long time. How was that battle between you and the 18 for all those laps on that initial run?
I was having a blast, man. I trust Poopy's driving ability to be able to, hold a steady line, and I'm assuming he trusted mine for pinching me. And I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. I thought a couple times I was going to be able to clear him, and then I just couldn't get it. And there's a couple times he could have cleared me, he just couldn't get it. So it was a blast.
Well, certainly it was a blast up here for us to watch, and this makes it 2 for 2 on NNR starts for you. Looking overall going into Auto Club next week, how do you feel about completing the Western Sweep? Do you think you could win this next one?
I think I get a shot. But really, there's like I said, there's a lot of good people out here. Nothing's guaranteed in racing. I can go out and wreck lap one. But I like my chances. But again, it's racing. There's no guarantees.
Definitely. Well, any shout outs from you, my friend?
Yeah, I think my sister's watching out there. Shout out to her. Shout out to you guys up in the booth. For broadcasting. And all the admins and everybody on the track. It's a lot of fun. Can't wait to do it again next week.
All right. Well, we're going to send you up to General because we know that the drivers meeting is coming shortly, and I do not want to get cussed out by Mr. Coher Cowboy. I don't want to get in trouble. But, about to say, we're going to send you up to General. Congratulations once again, man. Go celebrate the win.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. And Blair, you took care of 2 of the interviews. I'm going to let you take care of one more, though. Your good old buddy NNR Cowboy with the strategy today. He's coming into the broadcast booth. Here we go. Cowboy now in the booth. Blair, take it away.
Cowboy with the interesting strategy call this evening. Tell us a little bit about that strategy call. How'd you come up with it, and what'd you think?
Well, it backfired. I was hoping that I could stay out a little bit and maybe trap some people a lap down and a caution would come out when everybody went to new tires. So I was like, well, I'm just going to try it and see what happens.
Yeah, we touched on that in the broadcast booth a little bit of when the times that you'd be really wanting a caution and the times that you really want it. We talked about that for a good little while. I thought it was a great strategy. I'm glad to see that you were rolling the dice here in Vegas tonight. Great news is you ended up being voted driver of the night here on Twitch. So that's why you're up here. So any shout outs you'd like to give this evening from Vegas?
Just you guys up in the booth. I want to thank Coey and whoever voted for me to be up here in the booth tonight. Thank you to them too. I hope it was a fun race for everybody to watch tonight. Kind of went a little quick tonight, just one caution, but I figured we'd have a good green flag runs tonight. Next week's gonna be pretty fun too.
Yeah, next week Auto Club going to be some great racing. Going to be some 3 wide, 4 wide action. How prepared are you for Auto Club? Have you practiced any of it yet, or when do you usually start practicing for the next race?
Typically, I run some official races throughout the week, and then I'll usually about Friday when we have our big practice. I'll practice then Saturday, and then I'll practice some Monday. That way you just don't get burned out on a track. I had a good race last time we were there. I had a good race last time we were at Vegas. I had a 5th place, but it kind of backfired on me tonight. So
Yeah, you had a good qualifying run tonight. You had a lot of speed. Rolled the dice, and unfortunately crapped out on the gamble this evening. But great race. Love the racing that you guys put on here. Want to give a shout out to you being the admin over here on this racing. These guys week in and week out have just put on absolutely great racing. So thank you so much for all that.
thank you guys for everything y'all do too, and just thank everybody who shows up and watches and races week in and week out.
Well, definitely. Thank you once again, Cowboy, and great interview about Blair. Cowboy, since we know you're going to be the one that has to keep these guys in line, we're going to send you up to General before they start partying too hard here in Vegas. So we're going to go ahead and send you up there. But congratulations once again, man, on Driver of the Night, and can't wait to see you at Auto Club.
Thank you guys. Y'all have a good night.
You too. All right. Well, Blair, another race has come and gone here from the NNR iRacing Truck Series, sponsored by One Mind Two Design. And it was a very great race here at Vegas. Second race here in the West Coast Swing. One more to go before we head back to the East Coast.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, 4 weeks into this, we've seen some awesome racing. Shout out to everybody with all those follows, all those comments, everything out there on Twitch. Really helps guys like Expert out. So shout out to all the fans. Shout out to all the drivers, Jim Coey, Cowboy, all these guys for putting on such an awesome league. I'm so excited for next week. Can't wait to get out to Auto Club and have another week of In-N-Out burgers for me.
Oh Lord. I'm about to say we're getting all in with these references here. Gotta love it. But still, for everyone here at NNR, for Blair Patterson himself, and for myself, Expert Racing, and everyone at the X-Heart Network, we want to thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. Peace.